Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Trust, faith, happiness, prosperity, abundance, tolerance, caring, sharing, all those aspects of our life that are very important. Very important for us to maintain ourselves, to create within ourselves that sense of what we have, the sense of purpose, of reason, of being, a happiness within ourselves. Happiness is a birthright. We're birthed to be happy. We're not birthed that we should be unhappy, that we should be miserable people. But somehow through the tracks of life, we sometimes lose that sort of pathway of what is that happiness and what that happiness represents to me. And that feeling that we have inside of ourselves, that feeling of being content, that contentment, sahaj, the calmness within us, santok, means that contentment within ourselves, to feel that, so that we can radiate through us that sense. But what maintains that? Because this mind of ours goes many different directions. It goes many cycles and through things and ups and downs and upheavals and valleys and mountains and all those things that happen. And all those things that affect us externally, and all the vibrations that we feel and all those vibrations that surround us. But I learned over time that with all of that was happening and everything moving through my life, that the importance was, where do I find that peace, that happiness, that santoka, that contentment, that sahaj, that calmness and none, that bliss within myself? And how do I find that within myself and maintain it within myself in spite of my own ups and downs, my own negatives and positives, my own pluses and minuses? How does that maintain? And that's why, for me, spiritual practice became so important. And I talk so much, especially during these times that we're facing, these times that we're in right now, that we're going through, personal lives and what's happening in the world and everything that we're seeing that's happening around. That I talk so much, and you hear me continuously talk about what is so important, that the spiritual practice of you is so important. What is a spiritual practice? We call that sadhana. We call it that practice that raises us, sadhana, gives us that idea of our own self. Sadhana will always lead to that upliftment. We call that upliftment aradhana. So sadhana will always lead to aradhana. So the practice that you have, however you feel that moves for you. But that sadhana, that practice, will always lead to aradhana. Aradhana means the upliftment of your spirit. And through that upliftment of that spirit comes Prabhupati, comes that experience of the infinite Prabhu. The experience of the infinite self within you. And that's the self-realization. That's the self-knowledge. That to me is always the self-healing. And it's constant. Why do we do it every single day? We say, rise before the sun rises, Amrit Vele, rise before the sun rises. In that Amrit, Amrit means the nectar. Vele means that time. So Amrit Vela means the nectar time. Amrit Vela Sachinavadi Ai Vichar, Karnami Avikapada Nadu Moktuar. That when we rise at that time, when that sun is rising a 60-degree angle, and we are rising with the sun as that sun is rising, and we rise with that sun at that time when things are most still for us, most still. And we vibrate the Nam, we vibrate meditation, we do that practice. At that time, it clears that karma gets cleared. Dharma, that righteous path of ours, becomes known to us. Through that spiritual practice, your dharma means that spiritual righteousness, that spiritual practice, that spiritual pathway of you shall open. To rid ourselves of the karma, that karmic cycle, motion to commotion, commotion to drama, drama to trauma, trauma to disaster. We move through that and walk the path of our dharma, the path of our heart, the path of our soul, the path of our truth, where mind serves that path. Not we serve, not our heart, our soul should serve this mind of ours. Nay, this mind should be serving the heart and soul. As you've heard me say so many times, let our soul do our talking, our walking, let our heart do our talking. So that we remain in that vibration of self to process through, to find that contentment, to find that easiness, to feel the light of life, because we're gifted with this life. Even when I feel sometimes that everything this way is going that way and sideways this way that's going, I remind myself, I say, thank you for gifting me. That I've come at this time in this Kali Yuga, in this time of darkness, I've come. I came, you birthed me, I was birthed through that mother, the Madar, the door of the mother, to be here, to have this physical form, and in this physical form to have a consciousness. And through that consciousness that I'm able to have an awareness. And that awareness is always what will continually help me to grow and change and discover and to rediscover myself. Life is a constant rediscovery. We're always, every single breath that we take is a rediscovery of the self. And what is the self? The identification of me within me is my core of my being, of that soul, of that Atma, of that within me that vibrates through the sound vibration of the Nam, that connects to infinity, that connects to the Akashic fields, the Akashic ethers, that I'm able to feel and experience my infinite self as well as being in this finite form which has been gifted to me. And if I see this life as a gift, then where's my rift? There's no rift with life if I see this life as a gift. Is it true that we have to deal with situations? Very true. Is it true that we have anxieties? Sometimes it's true. Is it true that we have stress? Sometimes it's very true. It's true that sometimes we feel out of this physical body. Is very true. It's very true, those things. But I know that if I rise in Amrit, if I rise before the sun rises and I do my practice and give myself that time, that I see through that adjustment of that sadhana as I go through that practice, through my sadhana, that what is coming out of that, the result is always, I feel, more me. I feel more what is the reality of me within myself, to become that who I am, so that I can help others, serve others, be with others, have that faith, have that tolerance, have that compassion, have all those different parts. And help to spread a message during these times. A message of hope. A message that we have to fight on. A message that we have to stand for human rights. A message of peace to this world. To end the subjugation. So that humanity can have the liberation. And that's all we're fighting now. Is it subjugation? Are we just subjects? Or are we liberated people to live in the freedom of our own liberation? Guru Nanak Dev Ji taught liberation. He came to this planet over 550 years ago, only a very short period of time. Not to create religion, not to that, only to share a simple message of the liberation of all humanity. That everyone is born of Ekankar, of the oneness of this creation. And that we find that within ourselves, the oneness. The oneness isn't outside of us. That exists within us, is not outside of us, but lives within us. And we all have the opportunity in life to experience it. It's not somebody's just born, you have that gift, what have you. We all, every human being can experience liberation. But we know two things. One is there's no liberation without labor, and there's no freedom that's free. It's very true. It takes that work. We have to put in that work. And now more than ever, and to help others, to share that message to others, in whatever way you feel comfortable to share that message. But it all starts with my recognition of myself, that I recognize myself as a gift, and that God has created me, or that creation, or creator, or creatoress, has created me exactly as I needed to have been created. That's the first acknowledgement in my belief of every human being, that I have been created as that Creator has created me, to bring me into this life form, in this physical form, to interact in my environments, to share in those environments. We have a longing to belong with each other. We have an urge to merge with each other, as two very basic principles of a human. We have a longing to belong, and we have an urge to merge with each other, to connect. Connection is what's the most important thing, that we connect. We connect, we want to hug each other. We connect, we want to communicate to each other. We connect, we want to feel that vibration through each other. We want to meditate together. We want to feel that, how that electromagnetic field and my electromagnetic field merges to your electromagnetic field, to the electromagnetic field of the entire universe, to the cosmos, to the solar systems, to the galaxies, beyond galaxies, that each of us can connect through our electromagnetic field when all the centers of our body are all in balance and we balance, and through the Dasam Dwar, through the 10th gate, through that part we see and experience the entire universe. And we share that together as not just individual. Consciousness begins with the individual. Consciousness merges together in Sangat, in congregation, and through that Sangat, through that merging of each other, what do we have? We reach that Paramatma, we reach the experience of the infinite. So there's a lot that we have to take responsibility for within ourselves to understand that. So I feel a personal responsibility to rise in Amidveli. I feel that personal responsibility so that I can be responsible for my actions of my day. We take a Hukamnama. Hukamnama means a random reading from our Guru Granth Sahib Ji to give us a guidance of how to live to the highest part of ourselves that we can live by, to guide us in this day. You may do something where you do take something, some ritual, something you do to help you, that inspires you, that can lift you and raise you and give you that experience of consciousness within you to be able to vibrate through that and to share that vibration always. So let us just think about that. Let us consider that. Let us take that deep within ourselves. Let us process through that. But my message today is that simple message. And the simple message is, just do it. Don't make excuse, I can't, I'm too tired, I'm under a comforter, it's too cold in the morning, whatever. That aspect of you rising is the spirit in you that rises. It's not how tired this physical body is, how much time you have to sleep, how much you want to snore, how much you want to do that stuff. It's what is the spirit within us. And today, Satsangaji, we need spirit that's strong. And that spirit comes through our spiritual practice. So let us bring peace to this world, help be instruments of peace in this world, share that message to everyone. One candle will always light another candle. And let us help to bring this world to peace. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.